right, welcome everybody to the Bot or Not podcast here. We love that you guys tune in every week and faithful to that. We love you like, share, comment. Today we got Mike Kruchikov, and he's the CEO of Resonate and the founder of AI Studio, which is an amazing app he's created that sits on top of HubSpot, and it's absolutely wild. So, Mike, we want to just give you a chance to introduce yourself to everybody and say hello. So, Mike's over to you.
Hey, Jordan. Hey, everyone. And thanks for having me on your podcast. And uh, so I'm the founder of Resonate, and we are HubSpot partner for 7 years. And we started as many other HubSpot partners as a digital marketing agency, but quickly grew up into the tech company, building apps for HubSpot and building custom integrations, custom applications for HubSpot customers. And right now we have more than 1,000 HubSpot users, more than 1,000 customers, companies using our apps for HubSpot.
Amazing. So walk us through. Everyone's really interested because the title of this is AI research and sales research and how you've integrated. I know the tool does more than that, but walk us through, what AI Studio is and how you created this.
Yeah, cool. So AI Studio is a HubSpot app that integrates into HubSpot workflows and chat flows. So basically, two automation engines of HubSpot, where we build building blocks for you to automate things with AI. So let's put it simple. Everyone knows what's ChatGPT. You type a question, you get instant answer, and you can keep conversation with AI. Imagine now this is fully automated. So you write a prompt only once, and every time you get a new lead, you get all these prompts that you wrote automatically processed in CRM, and you can chain those. You can search web, you can do the automatic research, etc. So that's the and you can do hundreds of different things with that.
Yeah, absolutely. We use it day to day, so I'm a little bit biased here, Mike, and that we definitely been using it to make sales happen and make life easier for salespeople in terms of research. So just to give people a picture of a day to day, let's say you have 50 things that you want to know about a client before you go into a meeting. This can pull all of those up within a 3 to 5 minute period when you have the research hooked up to the right pieces. And so it's an amazing tool that saves tons of time for each individual salesperson in their day-to-day, making efficiency way better, because salespeople always love to say, I'm doing research, right? Instead of making calls and emails and things like that. So I think that's really good. So what motivated you? And I know AI is a fun new topic, but what motivated you to build this?
This revolution started when ChatGPT was released, and I was playing with ChatGPT, and I was almost instantly got the idea that I want this thing to be in my CRM in HubSpot to generate for me the all the email replies. That was the first idea. I want this thing to generate email drafts for me in CRM. And so we developed an MVP for ourselves. So it worked only for us for the first 1 or 2 months, and it worked great. We found many nuances. It can't just generate email. It needs context. It needs information, and it can help you capture that information. So we started building this thing into a product and released it, got product number 3 of the day on Product Hunt. Also got featured by HubSpot, and we keep developing it, and it's very dynamic place to be, the AI automation.
Yeah, it's very cool. And the fact that a lot of people out there won't understand what you just said about being featured by HubSpot, but HubSpot being the second largest CRM on the planet now. So Salesforce being the leader, and then you have other constituents which are more ERPs like NetSuite and Microsoft Dynamics. you were featured by them saying, you got to get this tool. And we find that your tool is one of the most prolific to use if when used correctly. It's like the dangerous new thing that you gotta train and build with. So it's really exciting that you brought this to market. So walk us through things like we were talking about how we use it for sales and lining up people's days. But how about outside of just sales applications? What can AI Studio do?
Yeah, there is a like let's take HubSpot. They have marketing, sales, and service, right? So service is huge for the AI, and it's already there. I mean, if you just Google or ask ChatGPT like what it can do for service, it's there are lots of use cases that are already implemented in by many companies. So starting from AI chatbots. So we have created our own version. Right now, HubSpot also they have their own version of AI chatbots. We also released our implementation. Uh, then like categorizing tickets, replying to tickets, the like processing any customer requests. That's one of the things. And next we have marketing. So let's say you got a new lead and you need to identify lead spam submissions. So AI is great in identifying, let's say someone submitted john@company.com email address and put their first name as Jordan. So that looks like a spam, but no algorithmic systems would identify that. There are other things like HubSpot customers are doing without tools. So some people generate content with it. So they use custom objects and they use like all the workflows with custom objects to generate marketing content. Next, HR, like processing CVs and analyzing like how candidate fits the role. That's a huge one. That can save lots of time.
We're doing that right now. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. 100%. So if you guys out there think that being able to screen applicants with AI is a cool idea, give a thumbs up because that's a big one. It is 100%. It saves a ton of time. It allowed us to narrow our processing time on candidate by at least 6 hours a candidate. So overall, like when you're interviewing them and taking them through steps and allowing your automations to be queued off and then reading the responses and answers, it's amazing once it's built correctly. But the hard point is building it correctly is where guys like you and I come in. So
yeah, and another huge thing is multilingual cases. I mean, we have many customers from Germany, from Spain, from Latin America, where you deal with like multiple languages inside the company, and you need to organize all the data. Let's take like HR. Let's say you are running like two offices. You have like one in US, next in Mexico, and you got applicants in Spanish, in English. With AI, you can simply process it, translate it automatically, and have a summary for the HR director, like right in the CRM. That's really cool. That saves like hours, like per day,
yeah,
every day.
100%. And given that markets now with AI can translate so quick and make those decisions, that's a huge application that I don't think as much. I'm kind of biased to the North American market, like we're working in the US, right, which is the biggest market in the world for a lot of services. So it's really cool to see these applications being able to unite the world, and for lack of better words, to be a better office place together. So exciting piece of time. That's a really good innovation. And so walk me through this. Why did you choose to build it as a HubSpot app versus a standalone app? And then a follow-up on that, will it come for Salesforce eventually?
Good. Yeah. So we've heard from many customers, like the both like top managers and sales and marketing managers, they hate switching tools. Like they'll like typical day of a sales manager is just switching between HubSpot, Zoom Info, Apollo, LinkedIn, maybe a few other tools, and they want to work from a single system without need to learn anything new, and having all their data in one place. So we focused on building a HubSpot like as native as possible app. So you just only need to like install and connect it, and this is it. Then you do all the setup and you work with all the data within HubSpot. That's that's also important for us. As I mentioned, like we started building it for ourselves, and I'm also hating switching tools. Like I love to be in HubSpot.
Yeah.
Salesforce. So far, we didn't do that. We got some requests making it for Salesforce. We are considering it, but for now, we are focusing on HubSpot apps, and a few things are coming soon. So,
Awesome, because
few
you and I are both very HubSpot biased. So, like
uh,
we'll keep it in the family for the time being, but you're saying it's coming to Salesforce in the future. It's just not a lockdown date yet. And those applications are just like it's an Unreal application, and what you can do with it is huge. And the way you've built it as a credit model is really good as well, so it makes it easier and can overlay for everybody. I think it's one of the most user-friendly pieces that you could absolutely do for someone. So I want to give you a couple shout outs for that. So walk me through, because a lot of HubSpot users are going to be on here and they're going to be like, okay, well, how does this compare to the HubSpot AIs and ChatSpot and these sort of things? So walk me through how that happens.
Yeah, well, first of all, like what HubSpot is doing, they are definitely doing right things, and Dharmesh is a genius, like behind all of these things, and what he's doing with ChatSpot, that's like that might lead to another hour of conversation. But what ChatSpot and all AI tools that HubSpot have, it's not automation. It requires you to type something. So with ChatSpot, you can discuss your prospect, and you can, let's say, prepare for a meeting, but you need to click and type something. Our tools, they work on the background. So you set up workflow once and you can run it for a million contacts. Well, maybe not million, that might cost you something, but like tens of thousands instantly. Like you need 10,000 like personalized, very good quality emails. You push a button, you wait for a little bit, but it is there. You don't need to open like 10,000 records to check those. That's and also there's a second thing. Like we are HubSpot, everything HubSpot builds, and they build it for like what's the customer base of HubSpot?
225,000.
250,000 customers, like millions of end users. And when they release something, they need to think about costs of their AI model. So they use quite cheap models, like for most of their tools. And when you need to generate things like sales emails, you need the best quality models available, even if it costs you like 10x, 100x times than comparing to the cheapest model. And we support all the major models like Google Gemini, Anthropic, Claudia, of course, all the open AIs, also Cohere. I mean, you can choose from the best models in the world, and we support new models within 2 or 3 days. Those are released. Like latest open AI model was supported on the same day they released it.
So let's go back to that, because that went over a lot of people's heads, and I know it did. So let me go in layman's terms from an outside perspective. You're the AI expert. I'm just the guy who uses the system. So what happens is there's about 10 to 12 major AI systems that you can pull from the world. They all have strengths and weaknesses with different things, whether it's research, writing, gathering certain aspects of data. And what you've done is you've created in this AI studio the ability to interact with them all for different things. So I can connect A to C and C to Z, if I want to, or Z. The Canadians coming out at me saying Z. So that you can do this across the board. And what you're saying is when a new model is released, let's say Grok 2.0 comes out, you're within a couple days, you have that available to be able to use for the aspects of data that's important to that team. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely correct. So this, like what you see on AI market, there are like just a few companies that do foundational models,
Mm-hmm.
like OpenAI GPT for, or that's Google Gemini. These companies, they invest billions of dollars to train those models. Like it literally it costs like huge amount of computing power of GPUs to prepare this model for us, and actually we just pay like a fraction of the cost to use those. So we are in a great time of building such tools.
Mm-hmm.
We support 4 major vendors of these foundation models. They all have their benefits. For example, Google Gemini, that was like pretty unexpectedly one of the best tools to process CRM data. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want just like categorization or asking like simple things, like you got a lead and you have 4 sales managers managing 4 different regions. One is for EMEA, second one for North America, for Latin America, and for Asia Pacific. And inside HubSpot, you can create crazy workflow like analyzing to all 200, like 50 countries or whatever there are in the world, and making like all these threads. Or you can just ask like, is this lead from this country, EMEA, Asia Pacific, or like Latin America? It will give you just a precise answer and like very cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
With that
that's one.
being, yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to
please.
say, with that being said, that's a great example of the things that it can pull. And like we've used that exact thing as to saying, okay, how do we streamline each operation to save time for the managers internally? Like typically they're looking at reports. You have to have a sales coordinator do a lot of this different stuff. So it's taking a lot of the manual thinking out of it with a high amount of accuracy. Nothing's perfect, but it's really close where, humans have mistakes as well. And the difference is your AI can do it immediately and it can do it to an accuracy that's higher than a human. So at that point, you're just saving a ton of money. It's pretty wild. People just aren't realizing tools like
Yeah.
this are the things that are actually changing things on the floor in AI. A lot of things are ethereal. They're everywhere else. But yours is actually, hey, this does things. This does real things in day-to-day people's lives. And I think that that's what you just illustrated is just one of 10,000 things that you can create.
Yeah, and it's all comes to like saving time and improving the quality of the work as well. So that's important.
So let's pop into this. So what are some,
Yeah.
if you could name, let's say, your two biggest advantages that sales teams have been using your technology for in the past few months? Let's limit it down just two so people can just grab onto them. What are the two biggest advantages thus far?
Yeah, let me like just step back and let's discuss. Like, let's say I'm a sales manager.
Mm-hmm.
I open a CRM and I start working. So I get a new lead. So what I need to do, I need to check the background of that lead. So they submitted, they asking us, I don't know, develop something for HubSpot. So I need to check like what's their request. Maybe they sent me like a long RFP with lots of requirements. So I spend time on this one. Then I do background checks of the company. So I'll go to their website to see what they're doing. I I analyze are they like a good fit for our company or not? If yes, I qualify them and I write them an email like suggesting for a meeting. So I spend for this like minimum 5 minutes, like sometimes 30 minutes. Like to if there are documents, if I need to like put together the email, it might be an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And with if it happens with AI in the background, I open CRM record. I already have a draft of the email in my CRM. I don't need to spend, and I have summary about the company, about the person, about like documents that were attached. So everything there in, and I don't need to spend time. That means I can process much more leads, or just have some time for actual like calls or meetings, and or maybe go to vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go to yeah, a nice one. Well, you live on a good place already, so that's awesome. So with that being said, that's what we find is research is really important, and then having an option for a note you can edit really quickly to send out to a client is a big advantage. Just on the ground floor, research saves about 5 to 10 minutes per person, right? Like jumping around, and then it's
Mhm.
consistent too. So the power of it is that you can get the reporting that you want and saying, is that an important piece of data? Is that accurate? And your sales team can be coming back to your data team and saying, hey, this one piece, let's pull from a different model because it's not giving me what I need. So it allows you to definitely, how to say, innovate and iterate at a really high rate, right? So that's
Yeah.
that's kind of the difference. If you have an active sales force, it works really, really well. So let me throw this up. Those are a couple use cases that are really important. I know this is a big one for you. You're working on a lot of innovations in the background, and this is what you do. You're like the mad genius, right? Who's building all these things, and all of us like to just peer into the minds, whether it's Elon Musk or yourself or people that are doing these high level things. Walk us through what innovations you're bringing alive right now for HubSpot and for AI Studio.
Yeah. So like first of all, the announcement, like today, in just like 30 minutes, we're gonna announce our new app, which is B2B fresh data enrichment for HubSpot. So it works natively in HubSpot. It gets the data from like 15 different sources with real-time analysis of the web, about your contact, about your companies in your CRM, and collects into HubSpot. So you don't need to switch to ZoomInfo or whatever like you might be using. It collects and pulls into HubSpot, and we use many AI layers to process that data. So it compares different sources, like where we get the fresh data. It parses the website in real time. So if someone just announced products, you're gonna get it in your CRM. And what's beautiful, you can put this together with AI Studio. So you can use all that data to generate your sales emails, to qualify your leads better, all with AI, all automated. And our enrichment tool also works as a HubSpot workflow extension. So you manage everything via HubSpot workflows. So no switching system, all the data is in HubSpot and all is AI powered. So it saves, again, it's about saving time.
That's a big innovation, but I gotta dumb it down to what it is. So you're telling me that you're releasing something that's going to compete against the Apollos, the Zoom Infos, everything like that that are currently, they integrate in a way to HubSpot, but then you're saying we're protecting, we're aggregating the data, making it available instantaneously, and you can combine that research to create the right emails using what everyone's selling out there, intent data. So you're saying, hey, we can parse it, we can put it all together and give you direction without you actually having to leave the ecosystem of HubSpot.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate. And again, that's just the beginning. I mean, we are now releasing it, and we comparing like to other tools for the data enrichment. Uh, those are all working, relying on their like databases of like 150 millions records. And what we do is that we check everything in real time using AI. I think that's the future of data enrichment, because AI is getting like cheaper and cheaper, so we can implement more and more things to like instantly process huge amount of data, find things we need, and pull it into your CRM in a nice readable human format, human readable format. So it's not just like numbers and some, I don't know, list of funding rounds with some dates and weird numbers. It's just a summary. Hey, this company got last month closed like seed A round for 2 million, and in total they got like, I don't know, 5 million.
And this
So
is
that's
where it comes. This is the crux of the conversation, because really the future is allowing humans to be told exactly what to do, and then they go use that relationship skill to take action. So this is building towards, the affinity of having an AI sales management tool that can give you exact data, exact timing, and next steps kind of laid out. So by using the unison of what HubSpot has on its AI side and your tooling, you can almost, I say almost, build an AI sales management platform that allows your reps a lot of freedom and autonomy just to do the actions that are put in front of them with nearly perfect data. I'm going to say with really good data, and taking those. So this next step's really exciting. I don't think a lot of people understand, but about 66% of the average person's time in sales goes towards doing the stuff that we just talked about. And they're only spending about 33% selling. So between these two innovations, we can probably double their selling time in short order, and the automations in HubSpot working on their flows and how things process through, of course. But imagine turning one salesperson into two to two and a half. That's what you're saying. Like that's where this goes.
Yeah, and I think that's the future of sales, like having like maybe less sales managers, but very well qualified with very high soft skills, very high sales skills, but they don't need to do all the technical stuff, only like research, etc. They're gonna have it. They just open and they do what they like. They communicate with customers. That's where AI can't replace them, and that's what they do best.
This is where it gets crazy, right? So the next level, this is really fun. And for those of you listening, you need to connect with Mike. Just connect with them, say hello. And if you need help building on his program, you connect with us too. We can have a chats together, because this next phase of successful companies is going to be denoted by those who know how to harness the power of this, because it's no longer the speed of the person, it's the accuracy and speed of how they can be fed. And then you can monitor the speed of the person, because the administration that used to hold us back is going to come down to almost nothing, and you're going to have the ability to have the right actions at the right times. So this is the most exciting. And I just want to say to everybody out there, the tool that you created, Mike, it is leaps and bounds ahead of everything that's available. It's at a very democratized pricing and way to do it, which is fantastic because it makes it available for everyone. And then you just have to have the gumption and the fortitude to go out and test and try and build. And I want to give you kudos for that. This is a very hard thing to do. So you turned the genius level stuff and the ethereal up here in the heavens into something that the regular man can use. And so that's a tough thing to do. So congratulations on that. And congrats on your new tool that's coming out. So everybody there, give this a share, a thumbs up, connect with Mike here on LinkedIn. If you're watching this on a million of other places that we're going about, go ahead, jump on to LinkedIn and check out Resonate, check out Mike and AI Studio, connect with him. And then if you have any other questions about how to put it all together, you can connect with us too, and we'll make sure that it gets done for you. But this is a mass innovation. Mike, do you have anything you want to close up? Because I know AI is a big topic. Is there anything that you want to throw out there?
I would add a couple of things. I think obviously AI is there, and if you don't try to implement something today, you might have a risk to be behind your competition tomorrow. And even if you think something is complex or expensive or whatever, tomorrow is gonna be like less expensive, even cheap. Even it might cost nothing, and it becomes easier. We have some tasks that we were trying to work on with previous AI models just 6 months ago, and those did not work yet. But models keep updating. The technology is so rapidly evolving right now that if, let's say, OpenAI tomorrow release GPT-5, maybe the most complex tasks gonna be much easier. Let's say like we generate sales email, and you might not like it. You might say, okay, like my best sales manager writes better than this one, and yeah, tomorrow model gonna be updated, and you got much better quality with the same price.
And that's
So and
that's an
thank you and your team for the lots of suggestions. I mean, we received from you guys. I know you help other customers implement these tools, and you push the limits of what it can do.
well, that's what
And
we're here to do.
that makes us better, and that makes our tools better.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike. And like all boats rise with the tide, and it's one of the things is like if we push this as our generation well together, we're going to have a much more effective, productive, wonderful world. We just got to keep the wheels on the bus, and that's the big thing is working together is a lot better than fighting one another. And people, as long as they understand that AI could be the great unifier and director of the future if it's guided by people like yourself, trying to make the world better, trying to improve each individual and the salespeople that are around. So, man, I appreciate your positivity, your message. If you guys haven't connected with Mike, connect with him. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching, and keep removing those revenue roadblocks. If you want more videos like this, follow our channel for fresh, new content every day. Check out our RevOps playlist, or how about this video chosen just for you? See you next time.